How did China make a better anime than 90% of what Japan produces? I'll answer that question in my spoiler-free review of this fantastic show. Link Click masterfully crafts an eerily beautiful story by cranking up the sentimentality to 11 out of 10. You think that these little side stories are 20-minute treasures, completely isolated from the main plot, but you couldn't be more wrong. Link Click is about two guys who can travel back in time. One guy, named Chung Xuaoxi, can possess the photographer's body no matter the time that the photo was taken, and Lu Guang can see everything that will happen for the next 12 hours, guiding Chung to do and say the right thing in order to not mess up the timeline. They work together to solve present-day clients' issues of regret and remorse, but obviously there are some screw-ups that make for an exciting story. It's weird though, the premise is insane, but it isn't even what is intriguing about this show. Link Click presents the viewer with a cinematic experience, a well-crafted storyline of an individual who sees horrible but also some wholesome things. Chung has to go through so many difficult situations that ultimately get the better of his emotions on several occasions. I just can't tell you any plotline because it will ruin the impact of the episodes, but I will say that you are not prepared for the emotional depth of this series. I have to be honest, I thought this was a fighting anime, and sure, there are some great fights. We'll get to that later. I discovered that Link Click could definitely mess with your mind. It takes these simple premises like going back in time to confess to your crush and flips them on their head, completely and utterly screwing with your mind and your heart. While each episode is almost a standalone piece, there's actually a larger story being told. You cannot skip any episode because each one will be utilized in the rest of the show. That's where I absolutely fell in love. Usually I don't tend to like anime with episodic adventures. Oddly enough, my second favorite anime, Cowboy Bebop, is probably the only anime that I actually like that uses that format. However, Link Click takes those little 20-minute golden nuggets and perfectly blends them into a single complicated but understandable story. If you guys like mystery and that detective thriller vibe, then this will be your show. All this, and I haven't even mentioned the fights. They are sparse, but when they happen, oh man, it is a treat. Each punch is brutal, and unlike those clean, focused strikes that most anime have, the hits are imperfect. It's almost like every fight is just a straight up brawl. There's nothing like a well choreographed shonen fight, but that's what makes it so entertaining. It's out of the ordinary, yes, and maybe that's because China is doing its own thing. Man, the music too. The opening is a straight up banger, and the animation for it is stellar. Just look at those hand motions. Plus, the ending goes so freaking hard. I never thought I would like Chinese rap, but here I am. Season 2's opening is also just as incredible. It's something out of a live action movie since it uses actual live footage and integrates animation into it. The scores and the lo-fi beats backing up the dialogue perk me right up out of my seat. I'm going nuts for this show, I know, but seriously, it feels like an instant classic to me. It has the animation quality of a Studio Ghibli movie, but the innovativeness of an anime like Cyberpunk Edgerunners. It's one of those shows where I can say, hey, this is well made, well produced, and by any standard, it's objectively a good show. And then I can turn around and add, oh yeah, I actually like this show too. It's one of my personal favorites. So many anime these days are basically pretentious. They say, look at how I am using this cinematography to view a raindrop on a leaf for 30 seconds. Yeah, great. But in reality, all I want is a good story that utilizes animation in an appropriate way. Don't just focus on every aspect besides a compelling story. I would say that's my main gripe with anime like, I don't know, Studio Ghibli movies. And I know Link Click isn't a movie, but it's actually really close, I swear. I think you know what I mean when I say that the viewing experience is akin to a Rotten Tomatoes 100% critic rating, but also an audience score of 100%. You can appreciate the careful attention to detail, but you also get some super cool stuff that is just there for people who kind of like shonen anime. Little side note here, I love Ling. She's the girl who manages the business and eventually gets entangled in the plot as the third main character. I think she could be my new waifu, maybe. She is sweet, smart, and a little bit of a spoiler, she learns to fight too. Ling is literally my age age as well. Dang, maybe she is better than Mizuhara. I'll have to contemplate that. Link Click encapsulates the essence of quality storytelling with thoughtful commentary and appropriate animation. There's nothing bad to say about this show, and to think that it is from China makes me rethink everything about anime. Are there other hidden gems of animation from that country? Does Japan really have an anime that can compete with this miraculous piece of entertainment? This could be a huge overstatement, but Link Click could be one of my top 10 favorite anime. It depends on how the story ultimately goes, but I'm watching season 2 right now and it's just not falling off. Compelling characters, amazing story, and catchy music. What more could you want? Let me know what you guys think of this anime, and make sure to subscribe for more controversial but accurate takes on anime in general. As always, this is the Eagle-Eyed Samurai, signing off.